It began with a wrong turn. I was supposed to reach the coast before sunset. The GPS kept losing signal, and fog rolled in thick from the valley, swallowing the road in sheets of gray. The last sign I saw read, Hollow Creek, 2 miles. I'd never heard of it, but it felt safer than driving blind through mountain fog. By the time I reached the town, it was already dark. The streetlights flickered with a faint orange glow, moths dancing like ashes around them. Every storefront was shuttered. No cars, no people. Even the air felt old, like it had been exhaled long ago and never replaced. I parked outside what looked like an inn, its wooden sign swinging in the wind, letters barely visible, the crooked hour. Inside, the air smelled of rust and rain-soaked timber. A bell above the door gave a brittle chime. "Hello?" I called out. No answer, just the low hum of a grandfather clock somewhere deeper inside. I hesitated, then took a few steps forward. My shoes sank into a faded carpet patterned with spirals that seemed to move if I stared too long. The reception desk was empty except for a register book, open to a page dated November 12th, 1911. Names written in neat cursive ink. The last entry read, Arthur Hale, room 7. Something about the name tugged at me. Familiar, though I couldn't place why. A gust of wind pushed the front door shut behind me with a hollow thud. The clock in the hall ticked once, then stopped. When I turned back, the sign outside the glass door no longer said vacancy. It said, "You checked in." I froze. For a long moment, the only sound was my breathing and the slow creak of the building settling. Then, somewhere upstairs, a door opened. Footsteps, soft, deliberate. I called again. "Is someone there?" No reply. The sound stopped. But I could feel someone, or something, listening. Against better judgment, I climbed the staircase. Each step complained under my weight. The walls were lined with photographs in oval frames, faces of guests perhaps. But as I passed, I noticed each picture contained the same person standing at the edge of the frame. A tall man in a dark coat, head slightly bowed, face blurred as if the film itself had trembled. Halfway up, the light above me flickered and died. I had to use my phone's flashlight. Signal. No service. At the landing, 7 doors stretched along a narrow corridor, all closed except one at the very end. Room 7. The door hung slightly ajar, faint light spilling out. I stepped closer. The smell hit me first, old smoke and something sweet, like decaying flowers. Inside, a fire burned in the hearth, though no one was there to tend it. The walls were covered in peeling wallpaper, and on the table near the window sat a pocket watch, ticking steadily. I picked it up, time frozen at 2:13 a.m. When I turned it over, 3 letters were carved into the metal. A.H. Arthur Hale. My chest tightened. That name again. The window beside the table showed the street outside, or what should have been the street. Instead, it looked out onto a forest, moonlight filtering through trees that hadn't been there minutes ago. I backed away. The fire hissed, wood popping violently, and the flame changed color. Blue, then white, then gone. The room plunged into darkness, except for my flashlight beam, which caught something new on the wall, words scrawled in soot. He who stays past the hour is taken by the tide of time. The floorboards groaned. I spun toward the door, but the hallway was gone. In its place stretched a tunnel of warped light, rippling like heat haze. I couldn't see the end of it. Cold wind poured through, carrying faint whispers. Counting, maybe? I could make out fragments. 2, 13, 2, 13. The watch in my hand vibrated. The second hand began to move backward. Panic hit me like ice water. I dropped it, but instead of falling, it hovered, suspended midair, spinning faster and faster until the ticking became a low hum. The air thickened, pressing against my skin like invisible hands, then everything folded. It's hard to describe what happened next. The room twisted around itself, wood stretching like taffy, walls curving inward until I was inside a whirlpool of colorless air. The pocket watch burst in a flash of white, and I felt myself falling. Down or up, I couldn't tell. When I hit the ground, there was no pain, only stillness. I was standing in the same room, but not the same. The fire burned again, fresh logs crackling. Outside the window, the forest was gone, replaced by a cobbled street filled with horses and carriages. And somewhere downstairs, someone began playing an old piano tune. I staggered to the mirror above the fireplace. My reflection stared back, but the clothes were wrong. A long coat, a waistcoat, my hands, someone else's hands. On the table, the guest book lay open to a fresh page. Ink glistened wetly. My hand trembled as I read the last entry. Arthur Hale, room 7. Before I could breathe, the clock downstairs chimed twice. 2:13 a.m., and in the silence that followed, I heard a whisper behind me. "Welcome back, Arthur."